Greetings, examiner. Welcome to our group's presentation about a burning issue in today's world. Plastic bottle pollution is nothing new, neither is old. However, if we do not treat this problem seriously, there will be detrimental effect on the globe. Now, with that matter in hand, our group is going to break down the subject into 4 parts. First, we're going to answer the question, what is plastic pollution? Next, we're going to discuss the situation in Vietnam. Then, we will look at it through the scientific perspective. And in the end, there will be an introduction of can bank, also known as the reverse vending machine, as a solution. To embark on, I will be the one to explain the term plastic pollution. So, what exactly is it, you ask? It is the accumulation of plastic objects and particles around the Earth's environment that adversely affects wildlife, their habitat, and even us, humans. We can divide plastic pollutants into 3 levels: micro, meso, or macro debris. Now, microplastics are the smallest type of plastic pollutants, which is less than 5 millimeters in length. Mesoplastic, on the other hand, are larger than those of microplastics, ranging from 5 to 10 millimeters in size. And if there are a lot of mesoplastic, it would then create macroplastics, such as piles of plastic bottles and garbages. And now that you are clear about the topic, feel free to move on to our second part.
Now let's discuss the severity of plastic pollution in Vietnam. According to research, Vietnam has been listed as one of the heaviest countries struck by plastic waste. Specifically, only 27% of the total 1.8 million tons of plastic waste that Vietnam discharges is recycled. Plastic consumption per capita in Vietnam has increased dramatically in the last 3 decades. In 1990, a person would only consume 3.8 kilograms, but in 2018, that number has inflated up to 41.3 kilograms per person. Plastic waste can be seen everywhere from cities, at sea, rivers, or rice fields. In the Mekong Delta, the so-called rice bowl of Vietnam, a lot of plastic waste from bottles, pesticides, and chemical fertilizers are severely poisoning the environment. We shall talk about how plastic pollution can take a horrendous toll on the environment, humans, and animals. First of all, plastics are made from chemicals that cause global warming. Most people don't realize that plastics originate from fossil fuels. The plastic industry, which includes the extraction and production of plastic, accounts for 6% of the global oil consumption. These energy-intensive processes generate enormous amounts of greenhouse gases. Besides, open burning and the breaking down of plastic also discharge thousands of pollutants into the atmosphere and the oceans. For that reason, plastic waste are to blame for many different types of pollution, namely air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. As plastics break down in the soil, it also goes deeper underground and then causes groundwater contamination. It has been found that additives used in the production of plastics can have detrimental effects on humans. Such chemicals as phthalates, PPA and PPS, PVC in plastics are linked to hormone disruption, cancer, early puberty, and infertility. In addition, there are also microplastics found in our food chain. As we all know, plastics stick around for ages. On average, plastic can take up to hundreds of years to degrade. However, our reliance on plastic is rapidly increasing, meaning that the dangers are heightened more every day. Last but not least is the ingestion, suffocation, and entanglement of hundreds of species. Animals mistake plastic waste for prey, then die of starvation as their stomachs are full of plastic. Plastics are also the reason why animals suffer from lacerations, infections, reduced ability to swim, and internal injuries. which in most cases can lead to death. Floating plastics also help transport alien species that can threaten biodiversity and the food web of native species.
Now, moving to the third part of our presentation, I would like to introduce to you guys about the scientific background of plastic pollution. In order to solve this problem efficiently, first we have to know how plastic is created. Plastic, in fact, was formed by chemically bonding oil and gas molecules together to make monomers. Then the monomers link with one another into long polymer chains to make plastic in the forms of millions of pellets. After that, they are heated and melted at manufacturing plants and then reformed into molds to create what we all now call plastic bottle. Being said, the bottles then were filled with water and wrapped, shipped to every corner of the world. They were bought, absorbed, and uncontrollably rolled away in large number. Plastic, now, like other junk, end up in the landfill and keep increasing day by day. But the question is, what actually makes this problem serious? The answer lies in the rain. Rainwater flows through the waste and absorbs the water-soluble compounds it contains, creating toxic molecules. Gradually, a state called leachate was made up, which moved underground and poisoned the water. Besides, there is some plastic moving along the ocean currents into the sea. As a result, there are 5 big plastic-filled gyres in the world, which have a detrimental bearing on the ecosystem. Therefore, to diminish the seriousness of plastic pollution, our team would love to introduce a solution to this problem, the can bank.
As we can see such detrimental damage that plastic pollution can do to our environment, our team has come up with the idea of building a can bank. But what is exactly a can bank? The exact name of this machine is the reverse vending machine. This machine has already existed in many Northern European countries like Denmark, or even some Western European countries such as Germany or England. The machine basically collects plastic bottles. In return, with a specific number of bottles, the machine will give the person back a coupon for a certain product. With such attractive gifts offered by the machine, this will encourage more people to take part in picking up plastic bottles on the streets. In terms of its practicality, our team believes that the machine can bring out a lot of wonderful upsides. First and foremost, it will greatly benefit the environment. The reverse vending machine across Iceland had been reported to have collected over 1 million plastic bottles, which proves the effectiveness of this machine. It also encourages and raises the awareness of people to pick up trash and put them into the trash can. In addition, it will build a solid foundation to attract more plastic recycling foreign companies to invest in this industry, which can produce a huge profit. Furthermore, the homeless on the streets can pick up the plastic bottles in exchange for coupons for products such as clothes or food in order to get by. Last but not least, it also helps relieve the financial burden for the government in terms of operating nationwide environment campaigns. So how does this machine work exactly? The machine will have a refrigerated shape. The machine will have a container on the lower half of it. Under the lower half of the machine, there will be a shredding machine in order to shred plastic bottles into pieces to make room for more plastic. There will also be a touchscreen displaying the number of bottles people have put into and notify if their bottles are taken or not. As the bottles enter the machine, it will have to go through a series of UV lights to kill off any bacteria on the surface and get to the container. There will also be a sensor so that the machine can recognize plastic bottles in order to reject different things that are made from different materials. We are planning to install the machine at crowded places such as the shopping malls or the parks where there are many people around, or also around the corner of many big streets. Apart from just plastic bottles, so that is our main aim. So our main aim is always keep the street clean, and we try our best to limit the amount of waste that are on the streets to protect the environment.